Hi there, everybody. This is your favorite artist, Mark Bromley, art and author, artist of the Yoranthium book series. And this piece was painted in 1999 over in Japan, over at up in Tokyo. I believe it was the Air Force Base up there in Tokyo that this was at. And this is me and my wife spending our, uh, beginning our lives together. And this is both of us coming together in love. And this is the flower of love. This is actually watercolor, A4 sized, and it's framed and matted the original piece. And if you want a printing of it, or a glycine of it, or something else of it, please let me know. I'm happy to help you. You can go to my website, check that out, get my book Yoranthium, or you can contact me through email and set up for services. I'll add the links right down below. You can contact me anytime and talk about this happy little piece here. Although I did this painting, my wife actually has skills in ikebana, flower arrangement. Yes, she's Japanese from Hiroshima. And she arranged this flower piece and put it in a glass because we didn't have any vase for it or anything like that. So we had glass, and we put it in a glass, and it was very pretty. I don't think my artwork actually does it justice, but it's artwork. It's what it is. And yeah, that's so. This is art of art. My wife's art. She does stained glass, ikebana stuff, things that I'm capable of doing as well. But she does it with her intuition and her insight. And she's been doing that for some time because she's studied quite a few arts, and she's been to France where she studied arts. And this is a beautiful piece. Actually, she creates these. Yeah, she's cordon bleu, stuff like that. And anyways, this is just a really nice flower arrangement that I did a painting of. And it was great because this is when we realized we were meant for each other and compatible. And we got married and started creating a life there. We lived in Yokohama in a nice little place, and it was on the 11th floor. And there's a few pictures we took of other things that went on, stuff like that. And it was a fantastic thing. She actually worked for the medical industry out there in Japan, and she's actually pretty good at that. And well, anyways, this is the flowers of love. And there's more of a story to this because this is just the weeks that we spent with each other when we first decided that we would be with each other and stuff like that. And this is just one of the art pieces. Now, I was in the Navy. I was living in a coffin locker, so I couldn't really have a lot of artwork until I actually got the apartment in Yokohama. Then I could actually have more stuff because I had more room. But in a coffin locker, you don't have much room. And for some reason, my command was upset that a person that's an adult would find another adult to create family with. It happens. And I notice this with the Democrat Party most of the time. They have this terrible aversion to families. I mean, they can have their families, but anybody that they consider less than themselves should never have families. They should live in like tiny homes or coffin lockers on board ships. They made it really difficult for me to get paperwork done that me and my wife needed done because she was a foreign national. She was Japanese. I was American. And so there were certain paperworks that we had to do for the embassy and stuff like that. And well, we got a lot of discrimination and persecution from the naval base. Uh, when my wife became pregnant, we found out about the situation with what Planned Parenthood really was. It was a baby killing machine. That's what it was. It was set up to kill the babies of families that were just forming because they wanted to dictate the lives that they enlisted within the military. And I had no idea how bad it was until they lied just to get people in there and try to murder their babies. And it was pretty upsetting to run into that kind of hostility. And this was during the Clinton years. And Yeah, Bill Clinton was kind of messed up. And that's when I first started running into these terrible things that the Democrats really had planned, the tyranny and the oppression, the persecution. Uh, if you're not what they are, you don't matter to them. And that really upset me because, they wanted to keep me in the military. They wanted to promote me. And the division officer, uh, being a black man, he understood exactly how I felt about why I can't stay in the military because of the attacks on my family and on the life of my child and stuff like that. And then he realized why I had to leave the military and stuff like that because I can't follow that kind of terrible leadership. I just can't do that. And yeah, it was just awful at that point. But this is a happier moment in my life. This is actually the flowers of love. This is when me and my wife knew that we were meant for each other. And the story about how I was going to meet my wife is a long story. It goes back to here in Colorado where I had a vision that I would be in Japan and I was going to find somebody very special in my life that was going to be in Japan. A lot of people don't want to believe that that kind of stuff exists, that people can actually see who they're actually connected to. But I can tell you what, I was dating a lot of women before I ran into my wife, and when I first saw my wife, the whole world disappeared, and it was just her in this world, and I knew I was there just to meet her. You guys may not think that those things are possible, but it is actually possible. And bound souls in this world, they do exist. Some people don't want to believe in spirits or souls because it gives them uh, a hint of a world that's beyond themselves. And they want to try to lie to people or lie to themselves, but souls and spirits do exist. And they coexist in this world among each other. And yeah, you might find people very kindred to yourself in this life. And they could be of many different ranges, different varieties, different kinds of people. And for me, ever since I was a child, I knew I was going to go to Japan and I was going to meet somebody special. And after they decommissioned the independence, I could have stayed in the States. I didn't have to go back to Japan, but I felt I must go back to Japan. And I knew I did. And then when I run into my wife, I find out that she actually came here to New Mexico when I was leaving for the Navy. I had plans to go down to New Mexico with one of my friends instead of going into the Navy. And if I had gone with my friend down to New Mexico, I would have met her down in New Mexico. We would have met down there. It's strange, huh? But I hopped onto a ship and sailed over to Japan to look for her. And I guess we had a little bit of miscommunication at first, but we found each other eventually again in Japan. We did. This is where we started falling in love with each other. And this is the flowers that she made, her ikebana, her artwork. And this is just my painting. That doesn't do it justice, but it's good, and it's framed, and we had that in our house for a long time, and it's wonderful work. So if you like any of my work, go ahead to my website, go to my uh, actually probably just email me if you don't see what you're looking for there, because I think you can only get books, the Yoranthium book, off my website right now, and some t-shirts. But if you want my artwork, you want a consignment, you want to commission some work from me, you want printing, some glyces, some other things, um, send me an email, drop me an email. We'll do business. Tell me what you're looking for, what you're willing to spend, what you're thinking about, and then I'll give you a good idea of what I can do for you. And it would be great. So thanks. I'm Mark Bromley, the artist, the author of the Yoranthium book series, and I appreciate you taking a look at my artwork. And remember, uh, soulmated love is not an impossible thing in this world. Souls that are bound together find each other. It does happen. Here in the United States, I think a lot of people try to distract that from you because they try to make money off you, like some of those lawyers. They try to tear apart your families and your life and your love. Don't let them do that. Don't let the world, the suffering and the cruelty of the world, do harm to you. Just do like Mark. Rise above it. Overcome it. And you'll find a greater plateau. Thank you. You have a great day.